I'm AJ.
I'm Satin.
And welcome to Rooted and Real, where genuine conversation meets grounded perspective.
Fantastic.
Y'all just don't know that, like, sometimes we sit here for about a couple of minutes before we actually show y'all what's going on to get it together.
I try so hard to be a serious adult, and I am not prospering in it.
So unserious.
So unserious.
But all right, so today our topic is about
Parentification and adultification.
Yes.
This is a very serious topic.
It is
we are
serious
not
topic.
having the topic.
All right, parentification and adultification of children.
Yes.
So I got a couple definitions for you. Parentification involves a child acting as the parent to their own parents or siblings, while adultification focuses on treating a child as an adult peer, confidant, or romantic partner substitute.
That's where you get those mama boys from.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Because it was very recently I saw an article about somebody, it might have been one of the Wayans brothers, that said that he never married anybody because...
the youngest one.
Yeah, he didn't get
Marlon.
married because he didn't want his mom to feel like she should come second to
Right.
another woman.
Well, that makes sense. I think he's the youngest, but also it makes sense regarding how close his relationship was and how he put her in a certain position. And I think that was probably smart on his end to do. I know some people might not think so.
Because it would have ruined another person.
Right, it would have ruined another person, but also his view probably at that time on women was no woman could compare to his mom or, you know, he might be looking for certain aspects of his mother in there. He's not looking for a mother, but he's maybe looking for the nurturing or the support. And I think that's a very thin line.
It's a very thin line. And if you get a woman that's like not just like your mom,
right,
then now your marriage breaks down because
Right.
she can never compare to your mother.
Right. And
I'm not your mom. I'm not supposed to be.
right. And, you know, he might not have been looking for a mother, but he might have been looking for aspects of her character and personality that, you know, he's like, oh, I want a woman that's strong. I want a woman that puts, you know, her family first. Or
Which is fine until you start comparing every single one of those
Right.
aspects to your mama.
Right. Or his view on how his mom was active in their lives might not necessarily be accurate. And I mean that in the sense that his mom might have sacrificed a lot for the family. He might have looked at that as a positive thing, but she might have looked at it, I don't know, she may have not, but some women may look at it like, this is what I'm supposed to do. But if I could change, I would have went back into the workforce. Or if I could change, I would have did certain things. So they look at it as honorable, and the parent, his mom might not look at it that way, you know?
True.
So anyway.
Our side note already, we just started. It's only been about 2 minutes into the episode. We side noted.
We do that a lot.
But it's all right. So another thing about parentification, the child takes care of the parent's physical or emotional needs, like cooking, managing the bills,
Right.
things like that, often due to parental incapacity or absence. So the thing about parentification that I feel, a lot of people now, because a lot of kids were parentified, like in my generation, they want to make sure they don't do that to their kids. So now they're taking it too far on the other end of the spectrum, where it's like getting your siblings some cereal is parentification.
Right.
Whereas I don't feel like it is that deep on that level. I feel like parentification is when I say, hey, Jackson, you're in charge every single day of getting yourself dressed, making
Right.
sure your brother is dressed,
Right.
making sure he brushes his teeth, making sure he eats, make sure he went to the potty, and then I'm going to fuss at you when I come downstairs if all of those things are not done for him and for you.
Right.
Now that's parentification.
Yes, it's a huge difference, as we discussed before we started filming. It's a huge difference between a sibling bond and just making sure that your sibling is taken care of, because that's what you would want to do, the closest, and then actually taking on the role as a parent. You know, like for instance, I remember with my girls being younger, you know, 9 years apart, there would be a lot of times when maybe I was sick or something, and on Saturdays when they were home, I would automatically just get up and do the things. And my oldest started noticing that, and she would just, instead of like setting my alarm or doing things, she was like, Mom, won't you sleep in? And I was like, no, I need to get up, da-da-da-da. And my kids are super independent, so I would wake up just to make sure that they were, you know, okay, but essentially they would be by themselves. And so she started just proactively making sure when she got up that she would fix her sister's stuff, but her sister knew how to fix things, and they would fix her breakfast, and and she just made it a habit to do. And I remember one time, the first time I woke up and I felt like I was in a panic, like, oh my God, I slept too long. And I got up and I went downstairs and they were down there just chilling. They were like, hey, you okay? You come rushing that right. Everything's good. And I was explaining it to her and I was like, I don't want you to take on that role. And she's like, Mom, it's fine. It's fine.
See, that's also different when the child says, I want to help.
Right.
I want to
help.
be here.
Right.
I want to do those things. Because a lot of times Jackson will do that and say, well, Jaden didn't do this, or I was trying to get Jaden to do that. And I'm like, hey, buddy, you're not his dad.
Right.
Like, I'm right here.
Yeah.
Now, if I have walked outside or whatever, I say, hey, Jackson, I need you to take care of Jaden for about 5 minutes. Yeah. Then you're in charge. Like, you keep your eyes open, you keep your eyes on him, you make sure he's okay. Right. But I'm not asking
like a sibling protector.
Yes. Like, I want them to always have a sibling bond, even when we're gone.
Right.
They know they have each other. So for that to happen, I mean, y'all will do things for each other, but I don't want you to feel like you need to take care of him as his parent. You're not a third parent. You are his brother.
I've had to do that with my oldest and tell her, you don't have to, or tell the youngest one because they are, even though they're 9 years apart, they're super close. Mm-hmm. And with them being super close, sometimes
it's real cute, actually.
It is absolutely adorable. And it's totally opposite of the relationships I have with my siblings, except for one of my siblings. I'm super, super close to my oldest brother. And even in times like I was, this is a side note. I was young and I was acting a fool, honey. Not that that's surprising. Not that that's surprising. But when I say I was acting a fool, I back-talked my grandmother because she was, the parent in our household that raised her. And I don't remember if somebody told my brother or he walked in on it. But all I remember is I bolted out that door running because that joker hawked me down. Ooh. He gave me the business.
He was not playing with you.
He gave me the business. And he was a sibling. So he wasn't trying to chastise me like a parent. He beat me like a sibling. He beat
you like a sibling?
Man, I never forget that.
You talking to my grandma like that?
Man, he hit me in the mouth so hard. Ooh. I deserved every bit of it. I deserved every bit of it.
I hear back talking.
I dare you back talk the person that's putting a roof over your head.
Right. Dang.
It was terrible. But they're super close. And in them being super close, there have been times when I would be right there present. And my youngest would come up to my sister and say, hey, come up to her sister and say, hey, can you fix me some juice? What am I, chopped liver? Chopped liver. What am I, chopped liver? And she would say, well, you was watching TV.
But I'm sitting right here. And then there would be times when she would go to my oldest and I'd look to say something and they'd give me this look like, what? Like, you're in the way. We got this.
So I stopped getting up on Saturdays. Like, who need to get up?
Who needs to get up? If y'all got this, I tried. I gave y'all the opportunity to make me be the parent and y'all said no.
Yeah, they pushed me away. We don't need you. And then the youngest, when she started cooking on her own, which was probably 10 or 11. And the first few times I would just wake up and then I just didn't think she was going to do it if I was asleep. Not for my kid. I woke up, I smelled smoke. I was like, uh-oh. It didn't smell like burning. It smelled like cooking. I was like, who was cooking? I know ain't nobody home but me and her. And I go down and she was like, sister left. Sister was gone. I was hungry. I wanted eggs. I was like, you didn't think to wake me up? And she was like, and it made me for a split second. I mean, most people probably looked at me like, oh, that's great. But me, I looked at it like,
she doesn't need you.
Right. Well, no. I didn't even look like that. I just looked at like she was growing up too fast. She was becoming an adult. So it was like I felt like maybe I was putting too much pressure on her to do more. But then my husband had to help me look at it from a different perspective. He was like, she wants to do that. Your kids enjoy being independent, and when they need their mom and when they need their dad, they let us know. Yeah. And I think that's a huge difference. Growing up, I don't think I can't say I think. I know I didn't feel like if I needed my mom or my dad,
you could go to them for something.
Right, or if I needed my grandmother. You had to, again, that was the parentification or adultification, which we'll get into more. You feel like you have to do it on your own. Yeah. Right, and that's what I did. And that's actually what it shows here. What it talks about here is examples of parentification and how it shows up in therapy, because that's usually when it shows up, when you start working on yourself.
When you're an adult.
Right, when you're an adult and you start having children and you start changing the way, again, as we discussed, changing the way that you want to raise
It's just
them.
Like when you talk about stuff and I'm like, Satin, that's not normal. Like,
right,
my parents, I was not going to the grocery store to purchase my own toiletries.
Right.
Period.
Right.
Like, my mama still will send me some soap and stuff in the mail from Sam's. If I say I'm on the phone with her and I'm like, yeah, I gotta go get some soap.
Oh, she did that.
It might turn up. It might just turn up on my doorstep. Some soap and toothpaste and whatnot. Like,
yeah, I remember when Haley was going off to school and she was like, what's on the list? And she just was going down the list buying stuff. She was like, I was in Sam's and I seen this and I thought, you know what, this would be great for Haley in school.
And she's great. You give her an Amazon list where she can click.
Man, she was on it. And she was like, I just thought, do you think, I remember her, when she was over here, or either she was on the phone and she was saying, do you think Haley liked it? She was like, Mom, I'm sure she'll love it. I mean, I don't think it's on the list, but I'm sure she'll love it.
She'll love it.
Yeah, she'll love it.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I get that. And my oldest sibling, and at some point, I don't know how old, I think I was in middle school, either 11 or 12 or 13 years old. And I can't remember exactly. But anyway, they were going to put us in a group home. This was one of the few times they were going to put us in a group home or, some type of group home. And my brother that's a year older than me, he went to my oldest brother and he was like, hey, we need you to be our guardian or something like that. Or either my oldest brother, I think my grandmother told my oldest brother, hey, you need to do it. Because my grandmother was older. When I was born, she was 70. So,
she was tired.
She was tired. She was already raised her kids.
She's tired.
Options are few. They were few, girl. They
was real few.
And so she took on that role of raising me and my younger brother. Again, like my oldest brother was, 9 and a half, 10 years older than me. So, by this point I'm born, he already 10 years old. But he stepped he stepped in and he became my guardian for a little while. And I want to say maybe a year, maybe two. I'm not exactly sure because I moved out at 16, but I got emancipated at 15. Yeah. And so
we lived two totally different lives.
Yeah, we did.
I can't imagine having to leave my mama's house at 15. My dad, I'm gonna be here.
You gonna be here
in my bed?
Yeah,
on my phone.
That's why I told my oldest, you ain't gotta leave till the day you get married.
Yes, watching the TV that's in my room, eating the food in the fridge. Like I can't imagine having to be on my own at 15.
Yeah, and if
being adultified in that way.
Yeah, and if we're able to have a house on the property, I don't want her to live here though. That's the thing. I don't want her to live here. But if I lived somewhere where I want her to be, we're gonna put a house on the property. Y'all can stay on the property.
Stay.
Y'all ain't gotta be,
stay.
And that could be too far to the extreme. But anyway, he became our guardian, and I remember. And he was young, and I remember thinking, him having to take on that responsibility. He just done it, and he may have seen it. I don't know. I don't think I've ever talked in detail to him about it because my brother is really one of those people. He's just like, it need to be done. It needs to be done. And that's how I think all of our family is. And that's how we were raised specifically in my household. It just need to be done. Even like taking care of my grandmother. I can't say I took care of her when I was younger, but I feel like we all did, like, because we were the grandkids that lived in the house.
Right.
It
was on y'all.
It was on us. And even my brother that's a year older than me, he took on a lot of responsibility of a parent, and he was just, he might be 12, he might be 14 months older than me, 14, 15 months older than me. But he took on that role a lot. He would cook for us. Cook for me, showed me how to mix things when he wasn't there because he was out of the household even at a young age for various reasons. And he would show this is what you need to do. And even washing clothes. I think he taught me how to wash clothes. And, at the time where we lived at, we didn't have dryer. We had a clothesline, which people need to get back to because fresh clothes dried by the sun is just good. But anyway, so both of my siblings have operated in that way. Not just my siblings. I have a cousin that I am her shadow. That's what people used to call me. And I will say that a predominant of my raising was from her. She did my hair.
And that's always a big thing.
That's a big thing. She did my hair. She taught me how to do my hair. She taught me about self-care and, bathing and lotion and cocoa butter, all of the things. She taught me how to be a little girl. Even though I was super tomboyish, she taught me how to be a little girl.
Be a girl.
Yeah, still got to be a girl. Yeah, she taught me all of those things. And it's just, I had, like I said, that one cousin. Shout out Vivian. Yeah.
Shout out to Vivian.
I've ever make a big girl. She was legitimately a parent for me. And also, at the time when my oldest brother became my guardian, she often kept in contact, but she had got married and moved away to, I want to say South or North Carolina. And her husband was in the military at the time, and she wanted to take custody of me and my brother. and she was all set to do it. She had got everything approved. As far as I know, everything was approved on her end. But defects told her that we couldn't go out of the state of Georgia unless she became unless she like adopted us. Like she couldn't be our guardian outside of the state. And so she she was like, okay, she couldn't do it. But then later on, when she moved back to Georgia, she took that role back on. Even though we were a little bit older, she took that role back on. So I mean, I had some great. Yeah. I mean, I hate some that it does have a negative connotation, and I do hate that a lot of families, not hate, hate is such a strong word, but it saddens me that a lot of families have to operate that way, but
for survival,
right? For survival. But I think I know that it shaped me a lot better than. I think if I didn't have it, I would have came out a lot worse. Which is saying a lot.
I mean, because you did have a lot around you that could have turned you in a different direction.
Yeah.
So having the siblings and the cousin that would help you take care of you and show you things helped you go on a better path than what you had been shown was probably your destiny.
Because all of my cousins, like my brother is, 10 years older than me, and my cousins are maybe somewhere between 10 and 15 years older than me. So they were all older enough to be living their lives. And I was everywhere they were.
Everywhere they were.
But yeah, so some examples of, wait a minute, there was another?
No, go ahead.
Okay. Some examples of parentification is, like I said, it often emerges in therapy. Let's see, so these are some of the statements that are made in therapy. It was always my job to calm mom down so that she didn't yell at my siblings. I'm familiar with that. My oldest brother did that. Well, brother that's a year older. Dad talked to me about the household financial stress. It was my job to reassure him he could handle it. Don't be telling them babies about y'all bills. I know it'd be hard. And I think sometimes that shows up when we say, girl, I ain't got no money. Or I don't have McDonald's money.
I ain't got McDonald's money.
I don't have McDonald's money.
It's a joke, but to kids, like, they don't take jokes.
Yeah, no.
Like Jackson is... I mean, I guess he is me, but he is so literal.
Yes.
If I say, hey, I don't have money for that, like I try not to do that. Like when he's asking for certain things and I'm like, hey, buddy, like that's not in the budget currently.
Yeah.
That's not something that we can just go out and buy. Like we'd have to plan for that. Like I have to make it sound different than like, I just ain't got the money for that right now. Because I don't want him to grow up with that mentality of money. Like, oh, I just ain't got it. Like, no, you budget for the things that you want. If you really want something. You think about, like, can I wait 12 months for it?
Yes.
If you in 12 months you don't want it no more, then you never really want it in the first place.
Right.
Impulse buys and all that kind of stuff. But, like, just teaching him about money but not having him manage my bills. Because he will say stuff all the time like, Mom, you got, like, $100,000. And I was like, who told you that? Where did you get this number from?
Now, look, my youngest, she might not say that we got $100,000, but she say we wealthy.
Yes, and I'm like, baby, where you get that from?
And I don't know where she got it from.
And I said, listen.
Speak those things.
Right. I said, even if I had $100,000, where you think it go?
Yeah. You see this? You see this house?
The roof?
You see all them sports you play?
I said, basketball, baseball, flag football. You want to play tennis?
That boy and everything.
Sir, it's gone.
Yeah, he spent the day with me. Was it this week?
Yeah,
Monday. He spent the day with me Monday, and we were out. And then at some point, he was like, I'm with you all day long. I was like, yes, it's fantastic. At some point, your husband called, or you text me, or somebody, and they were like, he has to go to baseball. I was like, he has to go to baseball today? We wasn't planning on that.
We wasn't planning on that.
You said, I was like, is it practice, a game, or something like that? I think I said.
William. Yeah, he
said it's a game. I was like, he got to go. Because if it's practice, he wasn't going to go. We still had stuff to do.
I can't deal with you.
Yeah, and my husband was like that. He was just saying that. He was like, he plays baseball, and I was like, yeah, man, I don't know. They be banking. That boy and everything.
Ain't nobody banking. Yeah. It costs. Yeah. Let me make sure I get on the early bird special for rent.
Right. Yeah.
Make sure I do it early. But that's the thing. Like, he has no idea.
Right.
If there were financial struggles, he has zero clue, and I want to keep it that way. It's not his business what our finances are like.
Well, see, I definitely messed that up with my first kid. And a lot of times, I mean, I've said this multiple times on the podcast regarding, your first kid, and plus, like I said, I got married young, had kids young.
It's a test run.
It's a test run, and Poor babies. That's why I told you my prayer has always been to cover her, to change her mindset on the mistakes that I made. But that's definitely something.
But it's great that you recognize it as well.
It is
and
now.
You've had the growth.
I've had the growth. You are correct. So I don't have any guilt about it. But initially I had some regret about it because you know I would say I don't have the money for that, or you know that costs too much money. Y'all think money grow? You know, just all of these phrases
that people said to you when you were younger.
Right. That was said to me. Right.
You think where money grow on trees? Where do you get it from?
That's right. And I said these, and so now even you know as her being an adult, she'll make those references like because I want to take care of her needs and I want to take care of the things and even buy her stuff that she wants. She'll say, "Mama, you ain't got no money for that." Now, do she know if I got money for that? No, she don't know if I got money for that. But because she's heard it. Yeah, that's right. Because she's heard it so much. Yeah. And the youngest one, on the other hand, she don't think about no price for nothing.
Oh, you just want to buy this.
Well, because her thought process is, y'all got it. Y'all got it. We wealthy. I don't know what she see. But, you know,
it's in the spirit.
Man, if she the kid, if there was ever a person, and there is, you know, we talk about it, there's all in the Bible, that could speak and it show up. It's her. So I keep letting them speak it. Speak it, baby.
Speak it up.
Speak it, baby. But another example, it says, Mom cried to me whenever she broke up with her boyfriends, and it was my job to soothe her.
Ooh, that's that emotional support.
That's where that emotional support, that's where that
baby ain't got no business. That baby ain't got no business helping you through a breakup.
But you know what? That's also, we talk about mama's boys, but that can also happen with daughters and their dads as well.
It can.
Yeah, I won't give an example because they might be watching it.
Oh,
they're a hater.
They're a hater.
They're a hater.
I can't deal with you.
We ain't gonna call out haters because it's too many clues that will point to them. You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean.
Sometimes you gotta keep some stuff to yourself.
Yeah, well, we're gonna let that slide. But that happens with both. You know, both sides. Another example is it felt like if I didn't handle things, nobody would. Now that's a me.
Yeah.
That's a me.
Yeah. That's why you the secretary of the group.
Now, see, that's the thing. I think with me and you, I know with me and you, I don't feel that way. I don't feel like if I don't do it, if you don't do it,
if you don't do it, then it won't get done. You know, it just won't get done the way that you want it done.
Right. Like,
I'll do it.
Look, AJ, she made a comment. So whenever she has an idea about something, she just texts it to me. We have a shared note that say we can both put in the things, put in all the ideas, link the articles, do whatever it is. She will text me the idea because her statement was, if I put it in there, you ain't gonna do nothing but change it how you want it, put it where, change it. So you know what? To keep from you having to do it.
Yeah. So why am I wasting my time and yours by doing it the way that you don't want it done? So you have to undo just to redo, and that's just a waste of time. So I just text it to you.
Yeah. Then you said, You said, and I had to tell myself, this is not about me. This is a her thing.
It's not about me.
It's a her thing.
It's her issue, and I'm gonna let her have it. It's benefiting me currently, so I'm gonna let her have it.
And I keep trying to adjust and change. And you would think that as an adult, I should know how to do that because I'm married and I have children.
I do feel like there's a lot of compromise that you do and a lot of growing that you do when you become an adult, but there's also some things that you just want to keep and hold on to.
You know what? Just don't let go.
It ain't hurting nobody.
It ain't hurting nobody.
It ain't hurting nobody for you to want things to be in a particular way in this shared note, and it ain't bothering me.
As long as it's not controlled.
A lick. It ain't bothering me not a lick.
Not a lick. And what you say?
You ain't fussing at me.
Right.
You don't even say nothing. You just change it.
Just change it.
And I'm like, whatever. I don't care what it look like.
And that's why I don't say anything to you because I know you don't have the same emphasis on it that I do, the same care. Like, it doesn't even matter to you.
It doesn't. I just want it written down.
One thing I did change, or I have started to change, is like when we do the titles, like when we upload a video and we put the titles or whatever, she was like, why do you capitalize the first letter of every? I don't know. I don't even know when I started doing that. So I started changing and trying to put lowercase, and it just feels so wrong.
Now, I'm going to be honest. If you become, a faithful subscriber of this,
you subscribe.
What you gonna know? You gonna know on the weeks when it's my week to upload videos and when it's her week to upload. You gonna know the difference.
Yeah, you gonna know the difference.
You'll figure it out.
You'll figure it out based off of all of the clues.
And what's even funnier is that the last two things that I posted, I didn't even send it to her first. Normally I send it to her so she can say that she liked it. I ain't do it. I just did it.
She just did it.
And I know it probably cracked her inside.
Oh my God, there were so many things I wanted to adjust.
I didn't even tell her that I posted it either.
She did.
She just saw it, and I was like, and when I posted it, closed my laptop and walked away.
Look, I'm gonna tell you what she did too. She took advantage of my illness. I was down. I was down for the count. I was struggling, y'all. Let me tell you, I had fevers. I was sick. I was nauseous. All of the things that autoimmune does to you, I was down for the count. And she's like, you know what? I'm not even gonna talk to you about it no more. Bye. And just hung up. I was like,
I did, and I said I got it.
And I did not look at it because, of course, I was down. And when I finally looked at it, I was like, you know what? This is why. I told myself, this is why you got to stay healthy. Not for any other reason in the world that it has approached
AJ out here going rogue.
She's going rogue. I got to keep this ship in line.
I literally upload done. She be sitting over here looking at stuff 15,000 times. I was like, I ain't got it in me.
Yeah.
I did it. I did make sure she liked the clip that I posted.
Yeah. She
but after that, whatever it looked like is what y'all got.
Right. And you know what? I even think if I had said, no, maybe use another clip, she's like, you know what? I'm using this clip. I'm not
using
this
search.
Clip. What she care? I don't care.
I liked it.
Caring about what she said. I just need to know if the volume and the ending is good.
That's all I cared about. I don't care if you like the clip or not, for real.
And even when I had to post the clip this week, and I don't remember which clip it is, but I didn't put a tag or music. I don't think I put music in
at the end of it because it was long.
Right, because it was already at a limit, and
it probably killed her. I know it killed her not to do it.
Me.
Just to post the clip.
Right. So
anyway,
I actually created 2 versions of it too.
Yeah, and see, I wouldn't have done none of that.
Yeah, I created 2 versions. That's terrible.
It's okay, but see, some of that parentification, adultification shows up in your life as
it shows up a lot.
So it's okay because you had to be in charge of everything. So now you're in charge of this, and I'm gonna let you have it.
Yeah, you let me have it. You said it worked for my benefit. I ain't gonna change it.
I mean, I'm out here doing a lot.
Well, you know, you are doing a lot.
We're doing this podcast. I gotta go to work. I got kids. I got a man. I got a lot to do.
You got a lot. You really do have a lot going on. When I told you, I said, I don't know how you do it. Here I am talking about let's do something different. I don't know how you do it.
And then I was like, and then I felt bad, so I wanted to help and do stuff. And here I am, putting more on my plate. It's fine.
Yeah, because I even said it. I was like, well, I said to myself, I am asking to do something. So I need to do something. I need to do more.
No.
Yeah.
It's fine. We've talked about this, but it's all right. Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about adultification a little bit.
Yeah.
The child is treated as an equal, best friend, or advisor, exposing them to adult knowledge and experiences beyond their comprehension. So while the two things do sound the same, adultification, I mean, in my opinion, parentification could be a type of adultification.
Yeah.
But adultification doesn't always have to include like taking care of other kids or cooking and things like that. But it's just like instead of me being your parent, now like we kikiing at all times.
Right.
You know, and then like if I'm going to the nail salon,
we're friends.
Like we're going and we're having conversations around you that are not age appropriate.
That's right. And see, you know, when I was younger, if you had a conversation, you just was quiet. Like all the stuff, it don't matter what was said.
You pretended like you wasn't listening.
You wasn't listening. You better not even look up.
Get out of grown folks' business.
That's it. Get out of grown folks' business.
That'd be the first thing. Or stay in a child's place.
Right. And, you know, something that we looked at when we were researching this is that these labels are, even though they're cross cultures, these labels are put predominantly on black girls and black boys, young black girls and black boys. And you see it in the news when a headline goes, like if a child, you know, like if a black girl goes missing, instead of it being a young black girl or a toddler or whatever it is, they adultify it. And you can hear it, you can see it in the terminology.
Yes. When you looked it up, it was called adultification bias, right?
Yeah, adultification bias.
And I mentioned to her, because we have these conversations before we cut the camera on all the time, and I'm like, hey, cut that out.
Yeah.
But just like even I've seen different posts online where this little girl, maybe she's like 6 or 7, but she'll go get a silk press. Okay, like they'll you know, straighten her little curly hair out. And then she might have on a little outfit or whatever, and people will be like, "Why you got that baby's hair? Like it shouldn't be like that."
And it's too grown. And that's only geared towards.
It'll be like that, but then like
girls.
a little white girl goes and gets some little curls or whatever. That's generally a older woman style,
right?
And nobody's like, "Oh, you're, you know, why you dressing that baby up like that, or why you did it to her hair? She looks like too much of an adult." It's only on the black kids that I ever see that kind of stuff.
And you see that a lot with pageants. You know, of course, in the 80s, nobody said anything. It wasn't until, you know, John Bonet and then some of, you know, that kind of guy, they were like, "Ooh, why would you do that?" And then with Honey Boo Boo, I don't know her real name, Elena. That's her
I don't
name.
know her real name at all. So
Elena.
You taught me something.
Yeah, she's.
You know, I ain't never clicked on that.
In Georgia somewhere.
Yeah, don't.
But you know, even in that, you know, the way that. I think by the time she came along, some people were looking at it differently, and I could see that in the news and some of the things, like the way she act and you know those. And it was like, but that's just her. That's her normal. But again, if it's geared towards a black girl or a little black boy, then it's not.
Stop tapping this table.
Stimming.
We got these headphones, y'all, and I can hear everything. So you tapping this table in my headphones.
I can't hear it. But it's those labels are put on black girls, and like you said, and that's a good point to highlight is that the hairstyles, the clothing, but you know something I dislike is the way the clothes are now for little girls.
So if you go to the store and you get a size like, let's say 2T short,
right,
that's in the boys section, and a size 2T short that's in the girl section, the girl section, I mean, it's shorter. Like it's this much of a difference from the boy one to the girl one. It's always so much smaller, and I'm like, why are you doing this to little girls?
That's
why
right.
are you already?
That's right.
Sexualizing in their clothing.
Yeah, in their clothing.
Why should her shorts be shorter than a little boy that's also 2 years old?
And so with our youngest one, when we started buying her school uniforms, instead of going through like the uniform source that we would have to go through, we would just go to Walmart and buy them or go to Old Navy and buy them. Mm-hmm. And she's taller, and it would be so much shorter, and they would be tighter in the thighs. And I'm like, and she would say, you know, Mom, like I remember one time she said, Mom, I'm sorry that they don't fit. I wanted to tear everything in that store up. I wanted to go Godzilla on that store. I said, baby, it's not you. It's the people that make the clothes. And I explained that to her. And so I said that one time. And after that, when she would go try it, because she hates trying on stuff. I do too. She would go try on stuff, or we would go get it so she could get the right size. And she was like, these people don't know how to sew. These people don't know how to make.
They don't know what they're doing.
They don't know how to. And I'm glad that I changed the narrative for her. But initially, she was like, why? Aww. But so I started buying her boys. It felt more comfortable. They were longer. The material was better. Like it was sweat moisture wicking or whatever it is.
I don't know what they be doing with these girls' clothes.
I don't need
It's not for me.
It's straight plastic.
It is. One thing I did want to highlight. This little thing was talking about the focus of both. So parentification focuses on the reversal of care. So like if the child is caring for the parent. Yeah. While adultification focuses on role corruption, where the child is acting as an adult. Yeah. It's like when people be like, oh, that's just my broke little best friend. Right. But like some people, like sometimes that's a joke, but like some people are really treating that kid like they little broke best friend or whatever. You know what I mean? Like you can't do that to children because they only have this short time to just be a kid. And they've got the rest of their life to be an adult and learn adult things. Like the innocence of a child is so fleeting.
It is.
And you don't want to be like, things are going to change. People are going to tell them stuff, but you don't want it to be you. Yeah, that takes away their innocence from different things. Like, of course, you need to tell them things age appropriately and gradually put them in the world. But like, it just shouldn't be too early, and it shouldn't be you doing that kind of stuff. Yeah,
you definitely shouldn't. It says signs that someone is parentified, which I think it also applies to adultification, is that they were given responsibilities that were not appropriate for their age. They grew up feeling like they always had to be responsible. They were pulled into arguments or issues between caregivers. They consistently had trouble playing or letting loose. They can't let a kid be a kid.
Let a kid be a kid. And I see some stuff where like the kids are anxious. Yep. They have trouble developing relationships with other people because they're not used to that. Like they've been having to be
kids,
a kid.
Their own peers.
Right. Yeah. So they weren't able to go outside and play with their friends. They're in the house taking care of their mom, dad, or their brother or sister.
Right. And that's, I remember like my era, you get outside, you there all day long. You just need to come home before the street lights come. Yeah. But
my neighbors came to the door, and I saw a video about that, and I missed that so much with the idea of like your neighbors coming over and be like, hey, can AJ come outside?
Community, yeah.
Yeah, my kids don't have that, and I hate that. But like, just having that time where a child can be a child and go out and play with their friends, and look at this, an impact of what'd that say? What'd that say? Read it for the people.
Lost child.
Not that one.
Which one? Okay, I have to see it. I have to talk to them.
Pick it up.
Perfectionism.
Huh?
You talking about me?
I am talking about you. Ooh, perfectionism. I need to be perfect to keep the family functioning. Because as a child, that is what you had to do. Yeah. You had to keep the family moving, keep yourself going, keep everything in survival mode.
Right, and I didn't do it for my family. I did it just for me.
For you.
For me and my oldest, my brother that was a year older. I think we did a lot of that. I did a lot of nurturing caregiving.
Just because it's not multiple people. Yeah, and not for your family.
And I don't ever even recall a moment where either one of my brothers cleaned the house. I'm sure my older brother did it because he was older, but my brother that was a year and a half old, I don't ever recall where he was cleaning the house. I recall that always being my duty.
And that's all. We could talk about that on another episode, but that's definitely a gender role situation where
it is a gender role.
The girl how to clean things, but you don't teach the boys.
Well, it was very adamant that the person that took care of me preferred one gender over the other. She was very Asian-like in that.
I can't with you.
Well, Asian,
Yeah, boys tend to be. Yeah, I get it. Yeah. I know.
Okay. It says they were pulled. Okay, yeah, I said that. So they consistently had trouble playing or letting loose. They often received compliments for being so good and so responsible.
Oh my gosh, you're just so wonderful. Thank you so much for doing that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so great. I'm glad that you're ruining your childhood to be the adult in this house. They all look at you. Thank you so much for cooking that
look,
meal.
I think that's a plus if you got that, because you ain't gonna get that. You didn't get that in my era.
Not at your time. No.
You better do it.
Because I said so.
Because I said so. Because I said so.
Yeah.
It says they feel that being self-reliant is better than trying to trust others. Now, you know, people sketchy. People is sketchy.
Can you just not admit that that's a problem?
Man,
for you to think that all people are sketchy?
All people sketchy to the
I mean,
end.
I was going to say, you are definitely a guilty until proven innocent type person.
I'm telling you, everybody guilty. Everybody fold till I find if they friend. Everybody the enemy till I find that they on my side.
And I think we talked about this. I ain't necessarily saying that everybody my friend to start with, but they in the middle. Everybody's neutral. Everybody got to be on
watched.
the side.
Everybody got to be watched.
Everybody neutral till you go to one side or the other.
No,
you ain't automatically a foe.
Yeah, no, you automatically can't trust
Good
them.
grief. All right, so listen. So I hope y'all enjoyed this conversation about parentification and adultification.
Yeah.
I hope that if you feel like that you were parentified or adultified as a child, that you can find a way to help yourself out of that and through that
again
as
therapy.
an adult.
Yeah.
Again, therapy would help you with that.
Right.
And if you haven't, you should go watch our episode about attachment styles and Maslow's hierarchy, because that also, like, if you
all
were,
of that ties into
if you were parentified or adultified, that would help you out.
Right, absolutely.
So go watch all our episodes. Thanks and bye. No.
Yeah, definitely watch the episodes and definitely see how they correlate with each other. We don't pick these topics just because they sound good or something to talk about. These are things that we've discussed. These are things that come up in therapy, and we feel like, hey, some people ain't getting therapy. Some people don't even see parentification and adultification as an issue.
Right. They're like, well, I turned out fine.
Right. I turned out perfectly fine.
If you have to say I turned out fine, you didn't turn out fine.
Right. And I think that was another part in the article that talked about that. Well, you and I do that a lot too. You lessen it, or you
it was all right.
put a spin on it. I'm fine. I'm perfectly fine. It made me stronger.
Yes.
I learned resilience.
Oh,
all of those things.
Anyway, we're not even going to do it.
This article was on Psychology Today, and then some of this other was just through research from different sources that we found. But definitely check into it. And if you're already in therapy, it may be something that you want to address if you haven't. And if you're not in therapy, talk to your spiritual counselor. I'm sure it has came up in various ways in your life.
Definitely.
Because it definitely has for me.
I can't say that. I was not parentified or adultified, but
yes,
I had a great childhood.
Yes, and you had a fantastic childhood.
I had a great parents. I can't lie. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry.
No, do not ever apologize. Because if you
parents.
didn't have a good one, and you had the same that I had, we
can't be together.
We can't be friends.
Can't be friends.
We can't be friends. Can't be friends. Thank you guys for joining us today. We hope to see you on our next episode. Go back and watch all our other episodes.
Yes. And watch our stuff on Facebook and everything else too, because we post other things as well.
Yes, we do. We do.
All right, y'all. Bye.